They can kiss my ass. That's probably why I die on television a lot.
My next race is actually an exterior race, which is an off-road race, and nobody that's spine division impaired has ever done an exterior race on a tandem bike.
From the famous Acme Theater in Hollywood, it's the Gregory Mantell Show.
You know him from the Dukes of Hazzard, Smallville, and The Secret Life of the American Teenager, to say nothing of his country music singing career. Today, John Schneider is here. His new movie, The Gods of Circumstance, is opening the British Film Festival. Plus, the director of the film, Justin Golding, joins us. And later in the show, Aaron Shides. He's competed in more than 70 triathlons around the world and holds 3 world records, despite being blind. But up first, John Schneider and Justin Golding. Great to have you here today,
great to
John,
be here.
Justin.
Hey, nice to meet you.
Well, I want you to know that every Friday night when I was growing up, I ran home and watched Dukes of Hazzard and Dallas. My family used to tease me because I was glued in front of that damn TV set on a Friday night watching you in the General Lee. So it's a real thrill to have you here today.
That means you're old. If you watch
I'm
it on
old.
Friday night,
Hey,
you're
now
old.
you were on that show, so if I'm old, you
but,
are
you know,
older.
People come up and they say, "Oh, I love you. I watch you. I came home from school every day." I thought,
Okay.
okay, you're young.
I watched you on Smallville. I never
So
saw
you're
the
young
Dukes
at
of
heart, so
Hazzard.
you're young at
Yeah.
heart. Yeah, fine.
Okay, you were on Dukes of Hazzard, but you've been working nonstop. 30 years you've been walking.
It's amazing to me. Dukes we started in 1978, but I actually started in theater. I'm from Mount Kisco, New York. One of your guys here is from Yonkers.
John?
Great show, Lost in Yonkers, right down the street from where I'm from.
Oh.
But I started doing theater in '68. So really, for me, when I started Dukes, I'd already been doing it for 10 years. Which
10
is
years,
why
already a pro
I'm
at.
such a pain in the ass to work with. I know everything.
Don't look at me.
Oh,
I have
come
no
on.
idea what you're talking
You can
about.
be honest, no,
But you were, what, 18 when you got that show, though, right?
when I got that show, yeah.
And you
Yeah,
were-
But I really felt like a seasoned veteran at that point. Honestly, I really did.
So you grew up in New York, but you lived in Georgia, though, too, right?
Only, it seemed like a long time at the time, but the older you get,
Yes.
the quicker I went to high school, which was only 3 years. I went to summer school twice. So I got out of Atlanta when I was
What does that mean? Were you a
18.
troublemaker? Was that why we were going?
No, I wanted to do more theater.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I wanted, I knew what I wanted to do. Now, as a father of 3, my eldest knows what she wants to do, and now my son. Actually, the kids know what they want to do.
What do they want to do?
The eldest went to USC and has a degree in visual anthropology.
Oh.
The middle one is starring in not Sound of Music, pardon me, West Side Story at Agora High right now. And the youngest is, she's 14, she is 6'1.5", and she plays volleyball.
One at a time.
Yeah, so they know what they want to do. So it's great. But
So
when
one
they
of the
didn't,
three
it
has
confused me. I didn't understand apathy. I didn't care.
So
Humor.
what made you?
Wow.
Hey,
What
we're
made
acting.
me? My
You
parents
can't
made
stand
me.
up.
What do you think made me?
What drew you to acting at such a young age? What got you past that apathy as a
I
toddler?
wasted the first 7 years of my life.
What were you waiting for?
I don't know. It was movies. I went to the movies. I was one of those kids, and my parents didn't get along, so they were fighting on Saturday, and I went to the movies. There. That's
And
a
now you
tragic
ended up
part
in the
of my
movie.
life.
Gods of Circumstance. We'll get in a plug for you. Opens the British Film
Yes.
Festival
Yes.
coming out.
Yes, I can't wait to see it in its entirety. I obviously
You
was
haven't
there.
seen it in its
No,
entirety?
Justin has seen it a lot because
Yes.
he cut it. He
I
directed
saw it
it.
last night. You want me to tell you what happens?
I know. Yeah.
You know what it's about? You remember?
I know what it's about.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, he does. He was there. He made it happen. His magic made it happen, as
Yeah.
you've seen.
So what is it about? What do you do in this movie?
What do I do? I try to. I'm on a road trip. I'm trying to put my life back together, but kind of not casually, but kind of. I think my guy his life has been so planned out for so long that when his business falls apart, when everything falls apart, it's time to maybe try something else, which is just screw it and try to live a little bit more randomly.
I think
You
so.
think?
I think so, and I think you're the type of character that most people are going to identify with. Nowadays in the movies, there's all these superheroes type things, but this is a
Not me.
No, this is a
No.
guy's guy. I mean, a throwback: John Wayne, James Stewart, Henry Fonda. Those type of guys who came into town, didn't want to get into trouble, didn't want to do anything that was, just let me get on with my life. But if I have to deal with things, I'll deal with it.
Yeah,
and you won't run away.
Right, you try, but you do have to deal with some things.
Yeah, there's a lot of the Gods of Circumstance. I don't know if the scene made it in there where
It did.
we do we say it a bunch of times?
Well, twice.
Okay, twice. Well, when we shot it,
Yeah.
we said it a lot because my theory was that it was such a it's such a heady title.
Yes.
Such a heady thing to say in casual conversation. I mean, we can talk about it because it's the title of a movie.
Exactly.
But you're driving through Vegas and you say, you know, the gods of
Yes,
circumstance.
Yeah, I like the way you turned to the camera and said, it's all about the gods of circumstance. It was so subtle. I thought, wow,
subtle.
they just worked that in. I
I'm
didn't even
nothing if not
catch
subtle.
that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we said it a lot, and basically we determined that really what the gods of circumstance meant was shit happens.
Shit happen. I was thinking that when I watched this movie. I thought, this is like shit happens.
Shit happens.
And now you got to deal with it. Exactly.
Deal with it.
A lot of
Exactly.
shit happens.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
bad shit happens to good people. There's a book.
Yeah,
Why
right
bad
there.
shit happens to good people.
And I've tried
And
not
how
to
come the
give away
shitty
whole
people are doing
plot.
so well?
There you go.
Have we said that enough?
I will also give a plug for Brian Krause is in this. We just had Brian on the show, so I'll mention that. He's one of your co-stars.
He plays the. He's
nice
a bad
guy.
guy, but he's troubled.
Troubled, very troubled.
He's
yeah.
troubled, and we did a scene. We stole a lot of shots.
Yes.
And we needed a place for him to be able to jump out from behind a sign and hit the car with a tire iron.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we're kind of. Do we have walkie-talkies? Are we on a cell phone?
Kind of, sort of, yes.
Because I know that I went away and had a margarita at some point because things were taking so long. It was like, well, I guess they'll call
If you're not
us.
going to hit me with a crowbar,
They'll
now,
call
I'm
us
gonna
at
go have
some
a
point.
margarita.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So we get in the car, and Kate and I, we get in the car, and we're driving down the freeway, and okay, we're on the freeway now. Yeah, we're going down the freeway. We're going to get off at what exit? What?
Yeah, which one?
Because this guy Brian is going to jump out
Yeah.
when we get to the bottom of the off ramp, and yell at the car.
And brandish a
Yeah.
tire iron.
Right.
Did people like call 911 when you were taking?
Well, it was lonely
Yeah, we
That's
could
the person
isolate
I
it.
have.
Exactly.
because somebody got in front of us and took the exit first.
Yes.
Oh.
And he
got the
doesn't
wrong
know.
car.
No,
Yes.
He doesn't know because he's hiding. He's over there hiding under, where the winos pee. And from New York. So he jumps out. Ah! Oh, excuse me. It's okay.
Sorry.
It's a movie.
Exactly. Do you need an autograph? No.
He pulls out the gun. Boy, you could have had some real problems.
It's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But what you can get away with if you say it's a movie.
It's a movie.
Yeah,
It's
show,
a movie.
He says, show the camera. We're shooting something.
So I'm going to try that if I'm mugging and if it doesn't work out. Oh, it's a movie.
It's a movie.
It's a
Look, there's a
movie.
camera heading at that ice cream
So did he
truck.
really smash the window though?
Not of that car, but he was supposed to haul back.
But I mean, at your car.
He smashed. That was the.
That's
the
movie
last,
magic. Yeah,
okay.
The
the
last
last shot.
two shots we did.
Yeah.
One was the real glass, and one was the.
Exactly.
Was the ice cubes.
So it's one of the things all actors know. When we hold that for the last shot, it's kind of like, okay, you might get hurt, yes. Well, let's do it for the last shot.
Yeah, like I was waiting for you to get out of the car and grab the crowbar. And
I just drove away.
Smart
you-
move.
Ah!
Yes.
I did, yeah, which was very out of character for me.
Yes.
No, if somebody comes up to my car and hits the window with a crowbar, I'm flooring it. I'm getting out of here.
Have you?
Yeah.
Has that ever happened?
No.
No. So you kind of avoid the whole road rage thing.
Yeah, because it pisses
Which is
me
true.
off.
I don't think I've ever read about you in the tabloids, like going after anybody with a crowbar.
He pays them off.
No, I've never gone after anybody with a crowbar.
Just making sure,
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see the movie because we shot it. It was a road movie, and we shot it from here to. We went.
Oh.
So this was all on
We
location.
drove. It was all on location
Yes.
for no apparent reason.
Yes.
We drove, and it wasn't your fault.
No,
I took it
producers.
out on
Not,
him. We drove 2 hours past Las Vegas to shoot in a Holiday Inn
yes.
because I'm sure that Holiday Inn looked entirely different than any
Well, it
Holiday
had to be
Inn.
legitimate. It had to be the real one. You couldn't use a stand-in Holiday Inn.
Are you a producer? It's like,
I'm
But it's
next.
great.
More with John Schneider. We'll be right back.
So, what are you doing here? You just thought you'd come by, say,
Why don't you come with me?
come with you.
Yeah. Come on, man. What, are you going to miss
on.
this place or what? Come with me.
No, it's not. Come on, Nick. It's not that simple. I can't just leave. That's ridiculous.
Look, I'm going to go. That's for the drinks. I'm gonna.
No, Nick. Nick, come on.
I'm just going to go. I'm going to go see if I can put my life back together.
And we are back with John Schneider and Justin Golding talking about the gods of circumstance. Okay, so you did a little road trip to Mexico.
Well, no, we were going to go to Mexico.
You
and
didn't go to Mexico?
We didn't go to Mexico because
wanted.
people were dying in Mexico
Exactly.
right then. and they weren't being allowed to leave. They were being held hostage.
Kidnapped, you know.
It was bad news happening
You could have
in
worked it into the
Mexico.
movie. That's material.
Yeah, in the first, yeah. Great.
Right, exactly.
First day we filmed at where the production offices are in Santa Monica at the airport, and set foot on the, no kidding, like right there on the sidewalk. The police showed up and told us we had to go. So that was
you
not
didn't
a
have a
good
permit?
sign.
No, we did have a permit for
We had a
that building.
permit, but
For
it
the
was
building.
airport, and it was just all kinds of weird stuff. And I thought, if we're not allowed, if we almost get arrested for shooting right there next to craft service in the coffee pot, I don't think we should go to Mexico.
They heard what you. They were waiting around the corner, John. They heard you were there, and they were waiting because they knew that.
That's right.
that this guy's
That's
gonna cause
right.
trouble.
They thought, you know, Roscoe.
Yeah.
That's
Roscoe
exactly
can
what it
get
was.
but by
If they'd
golly,
been smart, they would have done that. He would have come out with the white hat on and the white suit. And
Ramirez can get me. Yeah, and no, I didn't want to have that happen because you don't go down there and guerrilla shoot in Mexico. It's a whole different thing.
You can do it around LAX, though.
Yeah, we did that too. So I had just done a movie where we stole every shot in the world, but I didn't have a whole crew. You know, basically I had a truck,
Right.
and we stole shots. But this, I mean, you don't sneak into LAX
With 3 vehicles.
with 3 vehicles and a light and,
Not
and
these days,
sticks
no, not at all.
and 2 cameras. You don't.
And the DP hanging out at the back of the truck going, move the car.
I know. Yeah. So that's what we did, and that's what we did in Vegas too. We shot how we got through the middle of Vegas without getting arrested or in some sort of big trouble or even stuck in a traffic jam.
It's true.
No idea.
Right. The gods of circumstance.
The gods of circumstance.
see?
Because sometimes shit doesn't happen.
Happening exactly.
Now, your co-star, Kate
Cohen.
you told me you had a hard time finding, though, a woman to play opposite him just because of how darn tall he is.
Well, it's not, didn't have a hard time, but at the same time, it's one of those things that it's one of those considerations. Of course, you go for talent, you know, looks are good, but then at the same time, it's like, do I have to carry 4 apple boxes around with me here? But the women love playing against John because they can get their heels up.
That's right.
They
They
love
wear their
that.
heels.
They do love that, you know?
And she was great. She was really great, and she's about to have a baby, so that's terrific.
Was she pregnant during the filming?
Nothing to do with
No.
us. Let's put it, exactly. Let's put that on the record.
Question was, how did you get along? But, you know.
We got along swimmingly.
Exactly.
We got along great. And she's
She's naming the
terrific.
kid John Jr.?
Pardon?
Wow.
Wow.
Trying to get me arrested for crimes against
Gosh, look
vehicles.
at the time.
Is that, yes.
No, she's terrific. She.
And you're a father of 3 or is it 4 kids now? Oh,
It's 3.
It is still 3. Okay.
What time is it? She's gritty and she's beautiful, but she also has this kind of believable, like roadside edge to her, which is what's so great. So I was very, very happy that the producers and Justin went that way because there's a tendency, I think, for people to really cast headshots
Yes.
rather than cast people. You know, see what they can do in the room, and she was wonderful. So it was a great experience working with her, and I think that the relationship kind of realistically happens in front of you, blooms in front of you.
So a little something was going on, is that what you're telling me?
No.
Just going back to the beat, you know, okay.
I mean, what is this?
Wow. What happened here? So no, I can't wait to see it because I know that it's very important that in the end you have to feel some sort of remorse because of what happened. So you have to connect with not only with these couples and these people individually, but with them as a couple.
Yes.
So if you don't connect with that,
The end doesn't pay off. You don't get the
end doesn't
payoff
work.
at the end unless you
Right.
feel that they became a couple. Exactly.
right.
Well, since we've been talking about family the whole time here,
Yes.
I just thought I would throw in, I saw in one of your interviews that I thought was very interesting. You said, though, that some of your roles, you feel that it's actually made you a better father. Like at Smallville. and
Yes,
stuff,
well,
because you were-
Smallville, absolutely. Smallville, I love doing Smallville. I got, when I went to read for that, I actually worked the scenes out with my son, Chasen, the one that's doing West Side Story. And that was 9 years ago. He's 17. So the approach that Jonathan Kent had toward Clark and toward his wife, Martha, and all of that really did help me in life.
Because you said you kind of watch yourself on TV and think, hey, I wish I were a father like that. Or you don't
Exactly.
ever kind of-
Well, there was one particular issue where your job takes you away from your life a lot of times. And Smallville, I was playing arguably the best father on television. He was wonderfully written, and we had our nephew living with us, and he played football on the football team out where we live in Agora. And the night that I wanted to be there to watch him play his first football game, I was up in Vancouver underneath the football bleachers having a conversation with my television son about him playing his first football game. And so I had to listen to my nephew, Andre, on the cell phone while I was pretending to be. It was very surreal. So that actually made me think a lot more about what to accept and what not to accept, and how hard. I got in pretty serious trouble with that show because at one point they decided that we're going to shoot on Thanksgiving. And early on, you sign a little thing that says, we will adhere to Canadian holidays. Their Thanksgiving is different than our Thanksgiving. But I signed that little piece of paper, never thinking that someone would call me on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving and say, you got to go. So I said no.
Oh, what happened?
They were pissed off at me, and eventually on episode 100, they killed me. But they can kiss my ass. Because I am more Jonathan Kent than they have any idea. But it's a wonderful show. It's still a wonderful show. And I do not regret the fact that I put my family, my real one, over those folks. The people that were trying to make me go there were here in Burbank with their families anyway.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm surprised.
Hello?
Though, didn't the other star, like Tom Welling, didn't some of those people have a problem?
Well, they're
with that, or
young.
Oh, that's
So,
true,
and they didn't have family. I mean, it's different. It's different to be a child and miss Thanksgiving with your family, but to be the dad and miss Thanksgiving with your family because somebody called you up the night before. What you're saying is that your allegiance to them
Is more important
than your allegiance to your family, and I will not say that. I refuse to say that, no matter how much trouble I get in. It's
So
worth it.
you really go for that, what's that, work-life balance now? I mean, you ever since.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not a saint by any means. I'm just as screwed, or probably more screwed up than the next guy, because he's a level-headed gentleman.
I don't know about
I'm not
that.
so sure. I don't know if I'm as screwed up as you are.
Hey,
But
now I have to get a comeback before we finish.
Edit that in, yeah.
Yeah, you wait till I'm editing.
but
this.
I try. I know it's right. You have final say. But I try. You know,
We
I
can
try.
make you look like anything if we want.
Oh no! Oh no! That's okay.
So, in the final, what did you take away from this one? If you know, from Smallville, you took away from the better. What did you take? The midlife crisis. What did you take away?
What,
from
from
this?
Gods of Circumstance?
Yeah.
Honestly, when I sat and did ADR, what I learned is I don't know everything because I really enjoyed what I saw. I enjoyed what I saw, and from this point forward, when somebody says, I know what it's going to look like and you're going to like it, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And that's not the guy I was before I saw this particular movie. There.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you
you
so
should
much for
have
that.
yourself
I
as a
appreciate
For
that.
the tough times, I
Right.
apologize.
No, I mean, it was one of those things that when we went on to this film, John and I, as always, you have to form a relationship. And within this relationship, as we go through it, it's something that grows. From day one, you're like, who are you? You know, and the person saying the same back. But towards the end, you hope at the end of the journey, just as we have here, we look at each other and go, okay, hi, yeah, that was good.
So he was okay to work with.
Absolutely.
No, I don't think so. No, I'm tough. I'm really tough. We had this conversation. I said, look, you know, I come out here and I know you've got producers on your ass and people are telling you to do what you have to do and you got to hurry up and they want what they want. I said, but I can't do something that I don't trust or that I don't think is going to work because 15 years from now, somebody's going to look at this movie and they're going to see me and they're not going to know who the producers are and they might not know they're going to look at me and it's my mistake.
Well, that's probably why you've had the 30-year career.
Well, that's probably why I die on television a lot. But you know, so we had that conversation, and I need to trust people right away. But now, not so much anymore because I'm starting to realize that,
You can't
like
trust
I said,
talk show hosts.
no, you can't trust them.
No,
But
absolutely
maybe
not.
I don't know. Maybe I don't have the. If my movie as a director, I know what it's going to look like, and I'm open to suggestions if they're going to make it better. But now as an actor, if somebody says, I know it seems like the stupidest thing you've ever done, but trust me, do it, I will, if you say it.
If I
the
say
next
it,
guy,
forget it, yeah.
Thank you
Forget
very
it.
much. I'm so sorry we're out of time. Thank you,
Okay.
guys. John
All right,
Schneider,
thank you.
Justin
Thank you so
Golden.
much.
The movie is Gods of Circumstance, opening the British Film Festival. Up next, Aaron Shides holds several world records in triathlons, and he's blind. We'll be right back. And we are back. Joining me now is Aaron Shides. He's a 3-time triathlon world champion and has traveled the globe competing in over 70 triathlons. All this, and he's blind. Great to have you here today, Aaron.
Good to have you. Good to be here.
You know, I just have to tell you, I am so impressed. I mean, I have run exactly 0 triathlons in my life, and you've done 70, despite the fact that you, only have 10% vision?
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, it's all perspective, though. I basically, you know, I went through my rough times, but I think I've learned to deal with my disability. I've been losing my vision progressively over time, and
when did this start?
in 2nd grade is when my vision started going decreasing.
And what did they tell you?
Well, first of all, they told me they didn't know what was going on, and for about 5 years they told me that, and they actually had me sent to a neurologist, and like I had to have a psych eval, and because they actually couldn't figure what was going on, so they actually accused me of doing it for attention.
Really?
Which is difficult to take. Actually, my parents probably took that harder than me because I was a little kid. I didn't know what I was doing, so I just didn't know what was going on. And so my middle school years were really tough, though, trying to get over everything that was going on, as well as trying to find myself. And so that was also when I was losing most of my vision. So.
And so how did they eventually figure out?
It's kind of funny because I went to the University of Michigan Eye Center, which is a really good, well-known, the Kellogg Eye Center. And first time I was there, they did one test, and he's like, I don't see how they didn't figure this out. So he told me I have macular degeneration, the juvenile form, and he said he could see it pretty much with his eye scope, his ophthalmoscope. So.
And when did, now you said it was in your teenage years when the vision started getting?
They noticed me not being able to see the chalkboard, not being able to see things that I should be seeing, books and things, in 2nd grade.
2nd grade.
But then it wasn't until 6th grade that I was diagnosed.
6th grade.
Yeah.
And what could you see at that point?
At 6th grade, it's really hard for me to kind of remember, you know, what I could see. I really don't even sometimes know if my vision is getting worse unless I compare it to something that I could have seen before. But in 6th grade, it was to a point that I had to have at least 22-point font in books. But then since then, it's progressed until I can't read unless it's on tape or enlarged very,
And
very
so
big.
by your teenage years then, you were basically legally blind at that point?
Yeah, my teenage years, my vision was 2200, the legally blind limit, and or level, and now my vision's 2500, so it's more than double the legal limit.
And so, and as I believe I read it, you said it's about 10%, is that what they?
Yeah, I mean, that's
whatever that
kind of
means?
a ballpark figure, 10-15%. I basically see walking blobs all day, so just dodge the blobs and you'll be fine. So.
Now, so how did you get into these races? I mean,
basically how I got into triathlons was overcoming my visual impairment, because when I was in high school, I had a really tough time getting through it, and I got diagnosed with OCD and eating disorder, and I was depressed. And my brother.
I mean, growing up is tough enough for teenagers,
Yeah.
especially these days for anybody, but
Yeah.
let alone with this, and then being misdiagnosed earlier even so. But so how did you get past that?
So how I got into it was basically my brother had been doing cross country and swimming, and he saw that I was going through rough times, and so he said, yeah, Aaron, why don't you go out for try out swimming? And so I tried out swimming, and just the endurance sports has given me a relief from all the stresses, and has allowed me to kind of, I guess, free myself from that. And ever since then, through endurance sports, I have began to love challenge myself, and I've also accepted my vision as being normal, and now I don't try to seek out people's approval or anything like that, or try to be normal. I just know that this is how I am, and but I also have developed the want to seek out challenges, and that's how I got into triathlon. I heard about the Ironman triathlon, and I was like, man, I want to do a triathlon, and so.
Well, and again, so you're 27.
Yep.
You've competed in 70 triathlons around the world, and you have 3 world championships?
Yeah, in 2002 is when I went to my first world championships, just not really knowing what I was doing other than doing a triathlon, and ended up winning. So
And what one was this, or what was the?
It was what's the ITU Triathlon World Championships, and it was in Cancun. And then the next year was 2003, and I went back, and it was in Queenstown, New Zealand. So
Oh, wow.
great travels.
Oh,
It's,
yeah.
great places, and so.
So how do you do this? How do you compete? I noticed here, for instance, you had a little bit of help getting around some of the studio, I think. But how much
Yeah.
help do you need when you're doing
Yeah,
this?
well, I've become really independent in terms of living my own life. But when I race, I want to race and reach my potential and give everything I got. I don't have to be cautious, and so and just for safety reasons, I need a guide. So how I do it is I have a sighted guide that has to be as good or better than me. So I've had to resort to professional triathletes to be my guide, which is cool because I have a sponsor, K-Swiss, that actually provides me with guides that are professionals. And so how it works is we have a bungee cord tether on the swim. So my guide sights out for the buoys and the other people and navigates me around, and I feel tugs on the tether. And then we use a tandem bike on the bike, and he sits on the front, not me. People ask that, I don't know why, but to me it's pretty obvious. I don't sit on the front. And then for the run we use a tether as well, and I feel tugs, and also he gives me commands about curbs and obstacles and things like that.
And you were in town, you're here in LA this weekend for a race.
Yeah, I was in town for the Possibilities Triathlon. Possibilities is a nonprofit, helps people with physical challenges to get into, gives them possibilities or makes them believe that there's possibilities for them. And so they invited me out for this race, and little did I know until 3 days before the race that there's a $2,500 prize for the winner. And so immediately, I know I can contend with other pros. And so there was some pretty big name pros there, some world champions and medalists in the Olympics. And so I had to step up my game, but I think I would have won the race because I was only 20 seconds down, a quarter way through the bike, and my pedal broke off, so I had to do the rest of the bike with my left leg. So yeah, I think we would have caught him, and I think I would have came home a little bit richer. But yeah, sometimes things happen,
Well, I'm sure with you, there's the next one. So what's next? You're going to be competing in more?
Yeah, my next race is actually an Xterra race, which is an off-road race, and nobody that's blind or vision impaired has ever done an Xterra race on a tandem bike, so it's going to be a whole new adventure.
And what is that exactly you said?
An Xterra race is off-road. It's off-road biking, so you can imagine off-road running, and then the lake swim. So and then I'm going to do Escape from Alcatraz. That's a famous one. You swim from Alcatraz Island to San Francisco and bike and run all around San Francisco. So and then I have a couple world championships that I hope to go back to the world championships at the half Ironman distance and the Olympic distance.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sorry we're out of time, but
no problem.
Just damn impressive. I don't even know what to say.
Well, thanks for having me.
I will, whenever something tough or there's a challenge, I will remember this and think, no, he's out there doing that. You can get your butt out there and do it. So,
Yeah.
But it was a pleasure, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.